Okay, news from Reuters. A cellular outage on Thursday hit thousands of AT&T users in the United States, disrupting calls and text messages, as well as emergency services in major cities across, including San Francisco. More than 73,000 incidents were reported around 8:15 a.m. AT&T said some of its customers were facing interruptions and it was working urgently to restore service. And then turns out that a bunch of other carriers were affected as well. So major cellular outages across the country. I think the 70,000 figure, which was as of this morning, is most likely a huge undercount at this point. So it seems to be a much wider outage than that. And the question is, what caused it? If you had tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands or more, I don't know, people affected by a cellular outage, what caused that? And lots of people on the internet are speculating that it could be some kind of attack, or maybe it's a false flag event, or a dry run for a bigger thing that's coming down the pike. But the media is now reporting that it may trace back to a solar flare. And here's a quick report on that.
Good morning, Oklahoma. Maybe you're looking at your phone and it's saying SOS. What's going on? My husband had that this morning and he's freaking out. And I was like, did you do your phone updates? No, this is all happening at 3 a.m. So we did that. Coming to work. He's not the only one, guys. If you're experiencing that, it may be a result of space weather. Okay, I'm going to do my best to explain what's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look. So there was a strong solar flare event that happened just after midnight, and they actually captured an image of it right here, okay? I had to look up this scale. I wish I knew everything about space weather. That's a whole different specialty. But R3, that's for radio communications. It's on a scale of 1 to 5, and 3 is pretty bad. That means it impacts radio communications for a few hours after this happens. And so right now that could be impacting some of our technology. And sadly, we're entering a solar maximum where we're going to see more and more solar storms, Well,
I'm glad that she was able to begin that news report about this, serious issue, solar flare, cellular outage. She was able to begin by giving us a little anecdote about the conversation she had with her husband at 3 a.m. Not exactly. I mean, you're a news anchor. It's like, I guess people want everything personalized these days. I don't really want it personalized. I just want, just give me the news. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know about, I don't care that your husband, it doesn't matter to me. Now, so they're pinning it on a solar flare. The internet, as you might expect, is not buying this. Lots of comments are treating the solar flare explanation as somehow totally absurd. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, nah, no way. You're not fooling me. Yeah, right. Solar flare. Sure. Solar flare, quote unquote. They insisted this was some kind of planned, devised scheme by, shadowy forces, which, I mean, maybe it was. I'm not sure what they would have gained from it, given that this was a relatively minor annoyance. So I guess it's possible that shadowy forces executed some huge plan to just sort of irritate everybody for a few hours. I'm not sure why. I don't know what you would gain from that. And I don't say this to downplay or dismiss the reality that there are, in fact, evil forces out there scheming different ways to make our lives miserable. We know that's the case. That's certainly true. My only point is that, and I find myself having to make this point with relative frequency these days, but not everything, like there are scheming bad people out there, not everything is part of that scheme. And so when I saw this and I heard about the solar flare, I just immediately knew. I knew as soon as I went on Twitter what I was going to see. And it's nothing but, a lot of it's coming from the right. Just, yeah, right, I know what's really going on. And I was like, all right. Of course, it has to be. It always, there are things that happen in the world and in the universe that just happen. Okay, we do live in a physical reality where all kinds of things we can't control happen. That it does happen. And so some things are a conspiracy, sure, but not everything is. Now, I've been talking about my Helix mattress for years. It's truly the gift that keeps on giving. Every night when I go to bed, I am reminded of how much I love my Helix mattress. If you haven't already checked out the Helix Elite collection, you need to. Helix harnesses years of mattress expertise to offer a truly elevated sleep experience. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. If you're nervous about buying a mattress online, you don't have to be. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Because why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? Go to helixsleep.com/Walsh, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and find the perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Your mattress will come right to your door for free. Plus, Helix has a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will, I guarantee it. Helix's financing options and flexible payment plans make it so that a great night's sleep is never far away. Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders and a free bedroom bundle for my listeners. Bundle includes 2 free pillows, a set of sheets, and a mattress protector. So go to helixsleep.com/Walsh and use code HelixPartner25. It's their best offer yet. It's not going to last long. That's helixsleep.com/Walsh and use code HelixPartner25. Our friends at ZipRecruiter conducted a recent survey and found that the top hiring challenges employers face in 2024 is a lack of qualified candidates. But if you're an employer and need to hire, the good news is that ZipRecruiter has smart tools and features that help you find more qualified candidates quickly. Right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Walsh. As soon as you post your job, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology shows you candidates whose skills and experience match to what you need. And then you can use ZipRecruiter's invite to apply feature to send your top candidates a personalized invitation, encouraging them to respond to your job post. Let ZipRecruiter help you conquer the biggest hiring challenge of finding qualified candidates. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to my exclusive web address right now at ZipRecruiter.com/Walsh. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/WALSH. The smartest way to hire is with ZipRecruiter. You know, it's like when there's, and it seems that people sort of moved away from this a little bit recently, but we went through a while there where every mass shooting was a false flag. Every mass shooting was a false flag attack. And it seemed like for years that was by some corners on the right. Every mass shooting is automatically, I know what really happened, here's a false flag. Well, it's like, yeah, but mass shootings do happen. I mean, this is a thing that really does happen. I wish it didn't, but it does. So to immediately assume that it can't be anything but some deeper conspiracy is ridiculous. And kind of the same thing here. You know, so when I hear people say, you know, no way, you're not fooling me. Couldn't be a solar flare. Why couldn't it have been a solar flare? Solar flares exist. It's a thing. Are you denying that they exist? The sun is a real thing. It's up in the sky. Solar flares are real. The sun is out there in space. It's not that far away on a cosmic scale. It's an enormous ball of hellish gas so big that 1 million Earths could fit inside it like marbles in a glass vase. This thing that's burning at 27 million degrees Fahrenheit at its core, it's like a very powerful thing. It's this incomprehensibly enormous nuclear reactor that is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from us, again, in galactic terms. And yeah, that thing could incinerate all life on the planet in the blink of an eye. It could. It probably won't anytime soon, but eventually it will. But it probably not anytime soon, but it could. Like the sun could belch tomorrow and send us all back to the Stone Age. Just like that. That's the kind of power we're dealing with. That's how fundamentally helpless and vulnerable we are. All of our technology, all of our advancement, all of it could be rendered moot, destroyed in an instant by forces that have nothing to do with anyone on this planet. This is what I'm always trying to explain to the climate change alarmists that are running around. What are we going to do about the weather? It's like, we don't get to call the shots on this thing. I hate to tell you. I wish we had that kind of control. We don't. When it comes to the weather and the climate and solar flares and the sun and all these things, it's just, we are helpless. It will just happen. And if it does, then we're screwed and that's it. You think about the Carrington event, which was the largest solar flare on record. And, they haven't been keeping records that long. So this happened in like 1860 or something. And it sent out as much energy as the most powerful thermonuclear bomb ever created, times 5 billion. So it was the equivalent of 5 billion of the most powerful nuclear bombs ever created. So imagine that, 2/3 of the people on the planet all owned their own most powerful thermonuclear bomb, and they all set them off at the exact same time. That's the kind of power we're dealing with. And at that point in 1860, it knocked out telegraph lines. It actually set telegraph stations on fire. There were people at telegraph stations that were getting electrical shocks because of this thing. Now, imagine what would have happened if modern communication existed back then. Like, say goodbye to your phone and the internet, and probably for a long time. So that's all real. That's all true. It's a real thing. I hate to tell you. And I think that this is some of the psychology behind the people who overdo it on the conspiracy, where everything's a conspiracy. And I think part of the reason for that is there's a certain comfort, I guess, we take in thinking that we are in control of everything. Even if not me individually, but like even imagining that there's a human conspiracy out there that is responsible for everything, that is more comforting than imagining that it's totally outside of the control of anybody on the planet. And I think people don't want to confront that, and so they come up with ways to cope with it. That's my psychoanalysis anyway. There it is. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.